Good morning class. Today's class is about understanding active and passive voice. So before going to the topic, let us see what is called voice. Voice is the verb forms which tells us whether the subject performs the action or gets affected by the action. So from this statement, we can understand that there are two types of voices. One is active voice and passive voice. Just one example. We speak English. English is spoken by us. We speak English. Here subject is we. And the subject performs the action here. So this is active voice. But when we say English is spoken by us, here the subject is affected by the action. That's why it is known as the passive voice. So when we transfer from active to passive voice or passive to active voice, we must bear some things in our mind. Like when we transfer from active to passive voice, the first criteria is that the sentence must be an object. Means the verb must be a transitive verb. Second thing, intransitive verb we cannot change into passive form. The third thing, perfect continuous tense, like our present perfect continuous tense, past perfect continuous tense, we cannot transform into passive. And the fourth, the most important thing, always in passive voice, the tense form is always in the past participle of the form, or which we can say the third form of the verb. So let us change how we will change from active to passive voice. There are different kinds of rules we have to follow. Just we will take the simple present tense. For example, my mother cooks delicious food. My mother cooks delicious food. Here it is the active voice because my mother performs the action. When I change into passive voice, delicious food is cooked by my mother. So here we can say the rule number 1. Just think, the subject becomes object here and the object take the place of the subject. So rule number 1, object plus each and are plus past participle of the verb, or we can say the third form of the verb, plus by, then plus subject. So whenever we change active to passive, if the sentence is in simple present, we must follow this rule. Next, the present continuous tense. The same sentence we will convert into present continuous. My mother is cooking delicious food. So we will convert this into passive voice. Delicious food is being cooked by my mother. So what is the rule it follow? Just object plus are plus being, B-E-I-N-G, being, plus the third form of the verb which is known as the past participle form of the verb, plus by, plus subject. Next, the present perfect tense. Present perfect tense, for example, my mother has cooked delicious food. So delicious food has been cooked by my mother in the passive form. So what is the rule here? The rule number 3, object plus has or have plus been plus past participle of the verb, which is known as the verb 3, plus by plus subject. So here we got the 3 rules in the present tense. Just the present perfect continuous tense we cannot change into passive. Then the past tense. Think about the simple past. My mother cooked delicious food. Delicious food was cooked by my mother. So here we can understand that object plus watch or wear plus the past participle of the form plus by plus subject. The same way, the past continuous. My mother watched cooking delicious food. The same way, my delicious food was being cooked by my mother. The rule number 5. What is that? Object plus was or were plus being plus past participle of the verb plus by plus subject. Like the past perfect. In the past perfect, my mother had cooked delicious food. Delicious food had been cooked by my mother in the passive form. So what is the rule number 6 here? Rule number 6, object plus had plus been plus the past participle of the form plus by subject. Think about the modals. Some sentences, they contain the modals. In that cases, how can we transform the active with the passive voice? So just I'll give one example. We should respect our teachers. We should respect our teachers. Here should is a modal verb. So how can we change into passive voice? Our teachers should be respected by us. Our teachers should be respected by us. Here, any modal, if the sentence contains any modal, the form is that object plus modal plus be plus the past participle of the forms, then the complements. What the rest of the sentence we can add there? Like, I will eat a mango. I will eat a mango. So a mango will be eaten by me. Whenever we use these modals in some sentence that contain the will have. I will have eaten a mango. I will have eaten a mango. So how can we transform it? So a mango will have been eaten by me. So these are the ways in which we can change from active to passive voice. Next, we will talk about the conversion of imperative sentences. So just I am giving one example. Keep silence in the hospital. Let silence be kept in the hospital. So just see the formation. So first let plus object plus be plus past participle of the verb, then plus complements. Any other, the rest of the sentence we will add here. So imperative sentence means what? When we talk about a suggestion, when you are seeking request, when you are giving orders, these all are included in the imperative sentences. Like another example, keep off the grass. When you are moving in a park, everywhere it is written keep off the grass. So when you try to change into passive form, so what you will write here? So you are instructed to keep off the grass. Like when your elder brother, just you are requesting him, you have to post some letter. You are telling, please post the letter. So how you will convert this into passive form? So you are requested to post the letter. Let the letter be posted. In both the cases, you can change from active to passive voice. Next, in some sentences, they contain two objects. There are two types of objects. One is your direct object and another one is indirect object. Just I am giving one example. I gifted my sister a beautiful dress. I gifted my sister a beautiful dress. Here two objects are there in this sentence. A beautiful dress and another one is my sister. So when we talk about the things, then that is known as the direct object. And when we talk about the person, that is known as the indirect object. So when I gifted my sister a beautiful dress, so a beautiful dress is the direct object and my sister is known as the indirect object. So with the help of any object, we can change this from active to passive voice. So first we will take the direct object. A beautiful dress was gifted to my sister by me. In this way also we can convert from active to passive voice. Next, we will take the direct object. My sister was gifted a beautiful dress by me. So with the help of two objects, either our direct object or indirect object, we can convert from active to passive voice. I hope, my viewers, you have learned it.